Hey, what's up everybody? It's time to open some more mail. I haven't actually cleared out all the stuff I got in the last mail. It's all just around me. I would show you, but I don't want to show all these addresses on all these things down here. I've been having a hectic couple of days. Just moved my parents out of the house, and now it's my house, and now we've been rearranging everything and changing it, although this corner obviously is not changed at all. And, I went and got some mail today because someone's package may have been lost, but I found it. And then I just noticed that I have one of these slips that means I have to get something from behind the counter that was mixed in with the rest of the mail. I didn't notice. So I'm going to have to go back to the post office on Monday and sort that out. But for now, let's open up all the stuff we've got. First, something from Pennsylvania with no name on it, and it's a letter. So let's dig right in. I forgot I don't usually wear the sunglasses for these because I have to read. And I don't know how to cure this soft focus problem. How do I make my face in focus? You see, I just got a new phone. I got a Note 7, and it's inward-facing selfie camera, which is what I've always been using to film vlogs. On my Note 3, is like better. It has better low lighting, and it's like just got higher quality, but it never focuses on me. It always focuses on the background. I don't know how to make it focus on me. So I've just had all these fucking soft focus vlogs driving me crazy. This is gonna require some interpretation. Uncle Dervin, a bunch of yellow squiggles. It is nigh. What is regular? I don't know what's. It comes. No. A big spiral. Evangelize, for it is regular. Beware, the regular one is near. He comes with the brown and the pills. Harold Slavinsky. Did I just put a curse on myself? Alright, well that was probably the weirdest letter I've gotten so far. Let's open up the next thing. From one of many Mexican otakus that follow your work, is what it says on it. See, funnily enough, someone had addressed me on Twitter saying that they sent a package from Mexico that had said it didn't get delivered. So I went to the post office and I had this, like, non-delivery slip in there that was like, hey, we need to re-deliver this package to you. So I went up to the counter and they gave me this letter, and so I was like, cool. And then I told the guy on Twitter and he was like, yeah, but I sent a package, not a letter. Turned out the package was sent just fine. I have no idea why this one had to be redone, but I guess stuff from Mexico just tends to get held up. This one starts with a letter. Hey Digi, I mainly send this to you to thank you for all the hours of entertainment that you have given me. I've been following your work on YouTube since before you got to 1,000 subscribers, and I have never missed a single video. I've seen almost everything you have been a part of on this website, even when at first I am hesitant on whether or not I will like it. In the end, I almost always do. Like with the PCP. Loved listening to Digi Bros on the way back from school. Hope I'll be able to do that again in the future. I think you have one of the best analysis / review / opinion / whatever the fuck you want to call it channels on YouTube, along with Bunny Hop, Every Frame, Christian Williams / Captain Christian, Leon Thomas / Renegade Cut, Cinefix, and Dioscript. Fun fact, this is one of the best YouTuber in the planet and also one of your Patreons. Never heard of him, but I'll check him out. You've put me in some pretty good company. I am a huge fan of Bunny Hop, Every Frame, and Captain Christian's pretty good. I love how eloquent yet laid back your videos feel and how logical you are without disregarding the value of raw emotion. I think your best work is easily the Ass War videos because of how in-depth you go into the show from every single point of view imaginable. I also love the original YAS. I'm a particularly big fan of "No one would play this fucking game!" and your mental breakdown that has a clip of the cow falling off a cliff on part 3. The K-On! Loving Thesis, the Evangelion series of videos, everything you have made that included Space Dandy and the Ghost in the Shell retrospective. Right now, you're one of Right now, you are one of the few people that can get me to watch something with mostly positive results. Not a fan of psychopaths. I am on and off when it comes to considering K-On! One of my favorite shows, thoroughly enjoyed Standalone Complex, and liked Real Life, Konosuba, and Hibike. I would like for you to talk more on other mediums like music or live-action films, even if you don't consider yourself an authority in them. It would be really interesting. I know you have talked about this stuff, but I'd like to see more of it. Overall, I think you are one of the best people I know doing what you do, and I would like to thank you for the stuff you have exposed me to, the interesting thoughts you have placed in my mind, and the many, so fucking many, hours of entertainment you have given me. Now, let's be a sheep and see what you think about all this 3x3s. I made 6 because I think way too much about this stuff. There's anime shows, not taking into account related films, anime films, music albums, video games, overall works of art, and the big one, waifus. I'm not sure if this is something usually implied with the format, but I like putting the number 1 in the center. P.S. Tell Victor he is a cool dude. I will do that. Let's look at all these 3x3s. Alright, so this one appears to be albums and video games. So for albums, we've got OK Computer, Outcast, I don't know the name of that album, the Cowboy Bebop OST, Demon Days by Gorillaz, Queen's Sheer Heart Attack, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars by David Bowie, Queen's A Night at the Opera, Blur's, I don't know which album that is, and Pink Floyd's The Wall. So obviously lots of very classic rock, older stuff, lots of critically acclaimed albums. Demon Days is one of my favorites as well from way back in the day. And I generally appreciate all of this. None of it is something I wouldn't listen to, though none of them are really my favorites besides Gorillaz. And as for the video games, we have... Oh, Jesus, this first one is so cluttered. Oh, it's Skullgirls. Skullgirls, Portal 2, Star Fox 64, Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Mario Galaxy, The Wind Waker, Final Fantasy VI, I think that's what that is, or is that Chrono Trigger? I think that's Final Fantasy VI. And Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. All pretty cool games. I've actually played almost all of these. I've never really played Galaxy, but the rest of them are all games I really like. So definitely some crossover and favorites there. Good shit. Next up we have the overall works of art list and the waifus list. So actually I should do that one last. Fuck that. Let's go right into animes and films. So his top anime are K-On!, Paranoia Agent, Gurren Lagann. I could barely see this shit because it's all reversed in the camera. Golden Time, it looks like, Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Full Metal Alchemist, Fooly Cooly, and Madoka Magica. All pretty cool stuff. I dig it. And then for films, we have End of Ava, Disappearance of Haruhi, Grave of the Fireflies, The Wind Rises, Spirited Away, Wolf Children, Perfect Blue, Ghost in the Shell, and Little Witch Academia, which are all pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of Grave of the Fireflies or Wolf Children, though I know that lots of people love those. So, and I mean, they're good movies, just not really my style. But his overall works of art are Born to Kill, I guess is the name of it. Don't know it. Cowboy Bebop, Ocarina of Time. Scott Pilgrim, which would be on my overall works of art list as well. What the hell? Oh, it's A Clockwork Orange, Spirited Away, The Sopranos, Queen's A Night at the Opera, and 100 Years of Solitude, which I don't know anything about. So these two I know nothing about. The rest are all stuff I'm fans of. Pretty cool list of well, okay, I don't know anything about The Sopranos either, but the rest of it is all stuff I'm also a big fan of. And his favorite waifus would be, one of them is just Ocarina of Time. That's just a waifu, the game itself. Asuka, Haruhi, Reina, Kagami, Mio, Ritsu. You can't have two waifus from the same show. I don't know who this girl is. She looks like she's from Golden Time. And Kanbaru. Pretty fucking good taste in waifus, I gotta say. These are all characters I'm a big fan of as well. Kagami and Kanbaru would both be on my own, and Ritsu would all be on a waifu list if I made one, probably. So, great waifus. Overall, solid taste. I really like all your 3x3s. Alright, this next letter comes from I don't know how to pronounce this name. Knauss? Knaus? I have no idea. I would have said to put instructions on how to pronounce your name, but the last guy who did that, I still wasn't able to pronounce his name. We've got a 2-page letter here. Dear Digibro, I'm an attorney practicing intellectual property law in Washington, D.C. Don't worry, this isn't a cease and desist. I've always been passionate about animation as a medium of expression, with this passion often bleeding into my academic and legal work. Indeed, in law school, I received an A+ for a research paper examining the trademark and copyright issues surrounding fan art, specifically focusing on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic-inspired Flufflepuff series created by artist and animator Mixer Mike. I know about Flufflepuff. That was one of the best things that came out of the pony fandom, and one of the only YouTube channels in that fandom that had more subscribers than I did. I happen to be wearing a pony shirt right now, by the way. As someone who believes in expansive fair use rights, I'm committed to protecting derivative fan-produced content from takedown notices and infringement suits, particularly in instances where such content is non-commercial, transformative, or otherwise clearly permissible under the Copyright Act and relevant legal precedent. While I'm sympathetic to the business interests of copyright owners in defending their content from piracy and brand dilution, I'm equally wary of copyright law being used to stifle creativity or silence criticism. Plus, I'm of the opinion that at least some fan art can have meaningful economic value for the copyright owner, for instance, serving as free advertising. Oh, I accidentally skipped over where he said, I was really into MLP while in law school, and still am to a lesser degree, but I was even more fascinated by the productivity of the show's fan base and the legal questions arising from this productivity. Yeah, the free advertising thing is what I don't get the most. Like, I get protecting your brand, and, like, if you're going to make products of it and people are making the same products, I get why that could be damaging, but, like, fan art is nothing but advertising your show. That's what I've never understood about that. Like, you know, I make a show like, I make a video like, this show is the best anime ever. Go watch it on Funimation. And then Funimation puts a strike on my video. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? I'm like literally just giving you free money and you're taking me down. Fucking idiots. Anyway, ever since I discovered Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Fooly Cooly on Adult Swim in the early 2000s, I've been an avid anime fan. However, due to the pressures of school and work, my anime viewing was sporadic at best. During my 3 years of law school, the only show I managed to complete was Kill La Kill, which I don't mind because that show is awesome. This all changed a year ago. I was studying for the Maryland bar exam and needed something to help me decompress after the 10-hour study sessions, so I decided to check out an anime called Steins Gate. Watching Steins Gate was a life-changing experience, take that as you will. It quickly became and still is my favorite show of all time. More importantly, Steins Gate opened the anime floodgates for me, showing me the breadth and diversity of what's out there and how I've been missing out on so many great titles. To make up for lost time, I began watching as many series as possible. Following Steins Gate, I watched Higurashi no Nakukoro ni, then Toradora, then 70-plus shows later, here I am, a year older and significantly savvier with respect to both anime generally and my own viewing tastes. I came across your YouTube channels a few months back via your indelible The Asterisk War Sucks series, though I was already familiar with your name from my extensive research for the MLP/Flufflepuff paper. Your vlogs have become must-watch for me, and I admire your productivity, honesty, and willingness to experiment. While I enjoy watching other anime YouTubers as well, much of their output is considerably more formulaic and less interesting than the videos you're churning out on a daily basis. I appreciate your efforts and look forward to seeing how your channels continue to evolve. Also, I'm exceedingly pleased that there is at least one other person, a prominent YouTuber no less, who recognizes the greatness of Log Horizon. I've enclosed the 3x3 of my favorite shows in no particular order, because why not? While I disagree with your thoughts on several shows, I gave Sansa Sanyo a 10 out of 10 on Mal, and I think Parasite, despite its flaws, is a solid series. I'm interested that you gave Sansa Sanyo a 10 out of 10. That's very kind. Our tastes are relatively similar. You mentioned this in a previous video, but like you, I'm a fan of well-written, genuinely nice characters who hang out and interact with each other. I care deeply about narrative construction as well, namely the three P's: plot, pacing, and overall presentation. Hence why I recently dropped Shinsekai Yori after episode 8, with its interesting story undermined by choppy direction and deteriorating animation quality. Also, I'm a sucker for time travel, fantasy settings, and romance, though usually where it's a subplot rather than the main focus, like in Steins Gate. I don't have any anime magazines or merch to send you, but if you have any legal questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. I'd appreciate your not sharing my real name and personal email on your vlog. Obviously, any legal advice or services I could provide you would be on a pro bono basis. Also, as a fellow Shirobako fan, I have a question for you. Are you happy with how they ended the series, or would you like to see PA Works produce a Season 2? Relatedly, what would you like to see covered in Season 2? Thanks for the time, and best of luck with your future endeavors. Sincerely, Cracked Vault. P.S. If you're curious, my online handle comes from the final scene of King Lear. I'm a big Shakespeare fan, with my favorite plays being Henry IV Part 1 and The Tempest. Have you read or seen much Shakespeare, and if so, which play is your favorite? I don't really know much about Shakespeare, unfortunately. I could never really get past the language back when I was in high school. But as for Shirobako, I'd obviously love for there to be a season 2, because I just want more of it. It's so fucking good. What I'd like them to cover would be more failure. Like, I love that. To me, the idea of Shirobako is not just to present, like, a realistic version of anime, like, production, but to show why people would want to do it. Like, they kind of present a very hopeful angle on it, which is like, you know, even though it sucks, even though it's so hard, these people still ultimately get to produce something good, and in both cases that are presented in the show ends up being good, even though we know that there's this history of failure from the director producing Jiggly Heaven. But, like, I'd love to see them just go onto a production that just doesn't make back its money, and everyone ends up overworked and underpaid, and they have to go into the next show, like, trying to hype themselves up, like, alright, that one was a flop, but we're gonna do great this time, and then again, it's just kind of mediocre. Because I just want to see something a little bit more true to life, that, like, but they still keep at it, you know? Because I think to have a message where it's like, well, we all love anime, so we keep going, you know, but then even though it was so hard for them, they still did have actually successful shows. So it's kind of easier to accept that when, if they had just been through a bunch of failures, you know, I want to see some characters quit, you know, or maybe not make it so much. So, yeah, that would be interesting. And I know that's like a dark take to want, but, like, I feel like we already got the great story of achieving everything. So now we get to have the great story of failing horribly. Just as long as they don't make it depressing. Oh yeah, I forgot his 3x3. So we've got Steins Gate, Log Horizon, Shirobako, Hibike Euphonium, the Tatami Galaxy, Bakemonogatari, it looks like. He picked these, like, very far out shots for those two. The World God Only Knows, Monster Musume, and Jesus Christ, this is, like, such a weird, super deformed picture that I really am not sure what this is. It looks almost like Shirayuki Hime or something, but, like, what the hell is it? Her gauntlets look familiar. Oh, wait, there's labels on the back. It's Magi, the Kingdom of Magic. Although he actually wrote his labels backwards on those, but, yeah. He said Steins Gate, his favorite series. Can't wait for Steins Gate 0. Log Horizon. Linesia X Krusty is my OTP. They are pretty adorable. Shirobako, an absolute gem of a series. Bakemonogatari, episode 12 is just perfection. The Tatami Galaxy probably has my favorite ending of any anime I've watched. Hibike Euphonium, second favorite series. Can't wait for season 2. The World God Only Knows. I love the manga, and even though the anime adaptation is piecemeal, I still think it's great. Monster Musume, it awoke fetishes in me I didn't even know I had. Also, it's hilarious. And Magi, not a big A1 Pictures fan, but I adore this franchise, and best girl, Morgiana. I've never watched any of Magi, so I can't offer an opinion on that, but I do really love all those other shows. So, once again, excellent taste. Alright, this next one is a box that comes from an Archers in Nevada. It's pretty light. I don't know what could be in it. Looks like an Amazon box, as well as an Amazon envelope thing. Keep your gift a surprise. I guess we should go for the envelope first. A gift for you. Hi, Digibro. Hope you enjoy these. I bought them a few minutes after you uploaded the Second Chances board for Phantom Requiem. Greetings from Costa Rica. I hope this is exactly what I was hoping I would get in the mail. It is. I read the back of the order information. I had a feeling this was going to happen pretty quick, which is why I didn't go out and buy them myself, because I came pretty close to going out and just doing this myself. But I had a feeling, as soon as I uploaded that video, that someone else was going to do it for me. Darts. Second Chances board is going to get a lot more sense-making. I already recorded me hitting the board for the next show, but I'll use this for the one after that, and continuing into the future. There's a few of these, and these look awesome, by the way. They've got like a fucking skull design on them. That looks pretty badass. These things are like, these are serious business. These are like heavy and like sharp. These are dangerous. Keep out of reach of children. They've got like a alternate pieces, I guess, for the end if I didn't want the skulls. The skulls are pretty cool though. Those are awesome. Thanks a ton. I will definitely be using these in the future in those videos and anything else I need darts for. If I ever decide to do another dartboard related series of random chance videos, I will have these around. Alright, last but not least, we've got our package from Mexico from Guillermo Oseguera. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. It was also his Twitter name, so that's why I was willing to say both first and last. Really big typeface. Hey Digi, I hope you are doing well. Greetings from this shithole of a country called Mexico. I hope this package didn't take 10 years to get there and that all the stuff is still intact. I've been watching your videos ever since March of this year when you posted the anime is getting lazy with its meta video and have been a fan ever since. Thanks to you, my interest in anime and manga has been rekindled, so I truly thank you for that. Your Ass War Sucks series is what I consider to be yours and Devue's magnum opus to date. I know you want to stay as far away as possible from that pile of shit, but I hope one day you do a video series on the second season, please. As a little background on my anime history, I used to watch a ton of it when I was a kid, specifically Pokemon, Dragon Ball, even though I didn't know what the hell was going on, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Ultimate Muscle, The Prince of Tennis, Slam Dunk, and Captain Tsubasa. As I am writing this, memories come flooding back to me of also enjoying shows like Hamtaro and Tokyo Mew Mew. Even though I knew at the time those shows were targeted towards young girls, I still enjoyed them regardless. Yeah, interesting. I can tell that you're from Mexico because, I mean, other than the fact that it's written everywhere, we didn't get Prince of Tennis or Captain Tsubasa here on TV. Like, the sports anime never caught on in the US. It still hasn't. There's never been, like, a sports anime at all on US TV, as far as I know. All the other ones are all like early 2000s shows that I watched as well, but those two we did not get, at least not on television. When I got a bit older, I discovered a channel called Animax, which aired anime that was targeted towards teenagers and young adults. There were so many shows that watched on that channel that I can't even remember their names anymore. The only ones I still remember are Cran Shin-chan and Full Metal Alchemist. Like Dragon Ball, I watched FMA but had absolutely no idea what was going on. But regardless, I have really fond memories of that show. When I turned 10, I got really into Naruto and received Volume 1 of the manga as a gift. That was the first manga series I ever collected, and I still have all the volumes. I bought 1 through 25. I had so many ideas on what to write on this letter, but scrapped all of them, even going as far as to completely trash the original one I wrote because of how terribly I wrote it. I did include the shitty drawing I made of you because of how ridiculous it is. I was also going to send you a 3x3 that I wasn't really honest with what were my favorites, just because I don't have 9 favorite anime and manga yet, so I decided to just write them down here. Please tell me what you think. Azumanga Daioh, both the manga and the anime. Vagabond. Shokugeki no Soma. I love the manga but enjoy the anime adaptation a bit more. Hibike Euphonium. And Traveling Daru. It's a 10-minute OVA and I highly recommend it. Well, I've never heard of Traveling Daru, but the rest of those are all pretty great. But I did send you a 3x3 of my favorite albums of all time, so please let me know what you think of that one. I hope you liked this letter and enjoy all the stuff I sent you. I included notes in them as to why I got them for you. Herman Schott, 15th of August, 2016. Alright, first let's go through this 3x3. Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream, which I've never really listened to, though I know a few of the songs from it. The Black Mages, I've never heard of. I have no idea what this one is. Is there any notes on this? No. Weezer's The Blue Album, which I have never been a huge fan of Weezer, but I do like pretty much all their singles, especially the Sweater song from this album. The Queens of the Stone Age album, oh god, what was this one called? Like Clockwork? Pretty good album. I actually own a physical copy of it somewhere around here. Axel Rudy Pell, never heard of it. Oceans of Time. The Final Fantasy IX soundtrack, which is pretty fucking great. Tenacious D's Self-Titled, which was a huge part of my fucking early teens and childhood. And Sons of Angels, Thrill of the Wheel. Never heard of that either. So the ones I've heard of are pretty good, but I have no idea what all the other stuff is, so I can't really offer much comment. Oh, this explains it. There's another sheet that explains it. 3x3 cheat sheet. There's Foo Fighters, There Is Nothing Left to Lose. Yeah, I would not have known that. The Black Mages, Self-Titled. Sons of Angels, Thrill of the Wheel. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, all the other ones were written on there, but this album is a collection of battle. Oh, it's like a. There's some notes on here. The Black Mages one says, this is a collection of battle theme arrangements from the Final Fantasy games from what would become Nobuo Uematsu, longtime composer for Final Fantasy series, first band. I highly recommend you check it out if you're into heavy metal and or video game music arrangements. Well, that does sound pretty cool. Noted on the Oceans of Time one, this is the first album from this band with Johnny Gioeli from Crush 40 as vocalist. He's been the vocalist for the band ever since. Crush 40, I believe, is the band who does all the Sonic Adventure 2 songs, or I guess all Sonic Adventure songs. So if you know those, then you know that band. And then Sons of Angels Thrill of the Feel this band was Crush 40 before they became Crush 40. This album is the soundtrack for a NASCAR arcade racing game. It's the only album they released as Sons of Angels. Interesting stuff. So a lot of that is related to Sonic music, unexpectedly. Alright, let's move on to the other stuff in here and the letter about it. All of the stuff appears to be in a gigantic bag that says Ikamus? Ikamus? I don't know what that says. Oh, inside of that bag is another bag with Superman on the cover. New 52 Superman. Inside that bag is a bubble-wrapped bunch of stuff. Okay, the first thing we have here is Bakuman Volume 14. In Spanish, it looks like. Bakuman Volume 14 Mexican Edition. Since Bakuman is one of your favorite manga series, I thought it'd be neat if I sent you one of the volumes in the format we get them here in Mexico. As you can see, the quality is absolutely terrible, and they are a lot smaller than regular manga volumes, but I still hope you like it. P.S. Inside of it, you'll find a really big tip. So yeah, it is. I definitely noticed that it was smaller, which is what tipped me off that it was probably another language. Quality doesn't look too bad. The paper's fine. The speech bubbles are aligned correctly. And there's also inside here what looks like a $1 million in gold. A gold-plated $1 million. So I guess my YouTube career is over now because I'm rich. I'm going to stop making videos and just live off of that $1 million forever. I don't know where you got it that you could afford to give it to me, but thank you. Next we have El Secreto de la Sirenita? Sirenita? El Secreto de la Sirenita. Ponyo, the Mexican DVD. Like Bakuman, I know that Ponyo is one of your favorite films ever, so I thought you might get a kick out of watching the Latin-Spanish dub. Well, I certainly can't say that I'm not interested, because that does sound amazing. So that's pretty great. I'm always glad to have more copies of Ponyo laying around, one of my favorite movies. Well, yeah, one of my favorite movies. Next we have an anthology of Ghibli films, although it is once again in Spanish. Studio Ghibli Anthology, From Nazca to Mononoke, the only anime-related book I could find. I had to go to 3 different bookstores to get it. Jesus. Well, I'll at least be able to look at the pictures, which I'm sure will be beautiful because they are of Ghibli films. Oh, it's actually all in black and white. That's kind of hilarious. This actually looks like it would be really, really interesting, but I can't read it. I don't understand the language. Like, it's got all these, like, interviews and stuff, and, like, factoids and historical bits. Whoa. There's like a whole, in the back, there's, like, a whole guide to merchandise from Ghibli films. Look at that cool Nazca figure. That's pretty neat. I'll definitely flip through this thing. I wish I could read it, but it's definitely cool. And now, 3 anime magazines. These were the only anime-related magazines I could find. The top 50 anime of all time one is hilarious. Some really asinine choices are in there, though, but hilarious nonetheless. I hope you like it. So we've got the 50 greatest anime of all time. Saint Seiya on the cover. That's how you know this was not released in America, because Saint Seiya was much bigger everywhere else in the world. But other than that, it's got Naruto, Inuyasha, Pikachu, Akira, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, One Piece, and Mazinger Z forming the backdrop. Oh, and Ryuk from Death Note. Pretty good selection. Gotta know what's like the number one. Okay, this is pretty recent because it's got Assassination Classroom listed. Are these alphabetical? It looks like they might just be alphabetical. Fairy Tale's in here. It's like, you've got Fairy Tale, but then you've also got, like, Candy Candy and Remy, Nobody's Boy Remy. So, like, you know, it's not like they're not presenting you with good stuff. A lot of this is classic stuff. Oh my god, there's a huge poster in here. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. A poster of the whole cover art. That is pretty wicked. I definitely would like to put this up somewhere. I don't know if this will be in my room or now that me and my brothers control the entire house, there's a lot more space for us to put extra posters that we get. The back, incidentally, is a gigantic Crunchyroll ad. Not unlike my videos. Very cool poster. Towards the end here, sort of presented in a lot of fanfare, like the ultimate is Akira. So I don't know if that's their pick for best anime ever. It's then followed by a page that's just like, and then all Ghibli, because it's all the best ever. Just watch it all. I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I assume those were put at the end to be like the end-all be-all. So I'm going to go ahead and say those are probably their best anime ever. Whoa. This looks awesome. So here's an anime magazine that looks very comic book. Like it looks like an American trade book, but it's got terraformers on the cover. Oh, this one has some posters in it too. Oh, all right. This one's got a two-sided poster. One side is terraformers, I think, and the other side is a super cute Sancha Sanyo poster. Did not see that coming. That's great. I'll definitely hang that one up somewhere too. That one might go back here on this wall. Also, weirdly, a black and white section with a Mahoromatic full-page illustration. Pretty random. There seems to be a few of these throughout the magazine. That one's adorable. This thing's cool. Oh, there's another poster. On one side, Nisekoi, and on the other side, fucking Rakugo Shinju. A lot of the best anime of this year being represented in this magazine here. I think I dig this. There's actually an article about Sancha Sanyo. And there's an article about Space Patrol Luluko. This is a good magazine. And then lastly, we've got this one, which is also about I don't know if they just say manga. Like, I don't know, is manga what people say as opposed to anime for a magazine there? Because, like, they don't seem to be the same magazine, but they both say manga on the cover. This one's got Dragon Ball Z and Minecraft, by the way. Oh, it's got like another one inside of it. Like a miniature Naruto-based issue with a nice little 2-page spread poster in it. I don't think I'm going to put up the Naruto poster. I don't think I have much use for that one. This one has a Minecraft poster in the middle. Everything else in this seems to be about Dragon Ball. It's like a miniature magazine that's okay, one half of it is about Dragon Ball and the other half's about Minecraft. And I think the reversal of this poster, yeah, if you put the poster up the other way, it would be a Dragon Ball Super poster. That is a fascinating combination. Dragon Ball Super and Minecraft. That is what this is. That's amazing. Well, all that stuff was cool from everybody. Thanks for sending all that awesome stuff. I don't know if I'm going to extend on this video for that yellow slip I got whenever I pick up whatever that was supposed to be. But I'll let you know. You'll see it in the video.